Welcome back to the Karmic third party update. Yes, we're here to cover the energy. This does have a new look. I hope you enjoy the new look, as well as I will try to give you tips and advice through this reading and ask for yours. Yes. Now, we are looking at their energy this week. Now, we do cover the masculine, feminine, and karmic, as well as the joint connection. We can also, the further into the path of ascension we go, we can also start utilizing these energies in our favor. We can look at the karmic as a person, place, or thing, because a karmic cycle doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. A karmic energy does not rather have to be a karmic relationship at times. It can be, in fact, that you or your individual is directly dealing with a circular path, and it can be something in the subconscious mind or the 3D. So we can use this for how we can operate within our shadow as well. Then looking at the masculine energy, how we're moving our energy out into the world and pouring our energy into, and also looking at your twin's energy, depending on who you are as a cross watcher. Now, into this read, if you do want a personal booking, we do have all information below, and yes, super chats are also possible throughout the month. Now, the first thing I got that was really oozing through in this read was codependency and a shake-up. And it is because there can be this stagnancy as we do move through in the first 2 weeks of May, due to the fact that we are looking at things very differently. We're still in that shadow energy. We're in the Venusian energy of Taurus, as well as we're moving away from that previous Scorpio moon. Now, I'm looking at the crowning energy, and we do have alchemy in reverse. And, a lot of times we do from a shadow position. It could have been that we had bad intent. It could have been we're having revelations to do with, how we did use that intent. And I feel the karmic energies are really wondering how they can bring something about and not realizing they do have power, but not in the shape or form that they understand. So it could be a misuse of power. We will go into clarifying this energy. But there is something that is really cropping up for them where they're feeling spiritually quite stuck. Now, when we do look to the past position, we do have releasing allergens. And, I'm seeing the number 10 on the card, which can link to the 10th house of either partnerships, purpose, career, marriage, relationships. Things are bogging them down. This could be a reactive energy they were really within in the past. And as we do move through the current standpoint at the heart of this situation, there is a lesson that hasn't been learnt in this, and they are going back on old patterns. So again, using this, and we could go down the rabbit hole of black magic, manipulation, shadow energy. We did, like I said, just have the Scorpio moon last month, and we are in the embodiment of that, wrapping those situations up. But it can be things that are cropping up for these individuals this week where there has been a misuse of power and exposure. Also, sometimes when we are in a pattern of codependency, we may not be aware that we're in it, and these individuals may not be aware that they are in that cycle, and some method they've used in the past is no longer working on this circumstance. And this can be really bringing up old grief to do with the past where they're having to face their shadow, and they can be releasing these things and feeling they need to break these patterns, but also really questioning, hey, can I actually break these patterns? Do I actually know something, other than what I have learned over my lifetime? So there is a judgment here. They are moving towards, if they can't break this pattern, there's a judgment energy. Soul searching will bring inner peace to many areas of your life. We will clarify whether this is something happening to them or for them, which I do believe it both resonates on both stands. Whether it's happening to them or they're actually co-creating in this process, because I do feel for many it's actually happening to them over them actually taking the initiative to do some transformations and changes, because this old pattern is still lingering here. And although they're being ushered to release it, they're really feeling quite bare and vulnerable and wanting to go back to that. And they're just looking at their power and saying, I used to do this before. Why is this not working? This is a person who is feeling quite unsure of themselves, especially where it does come to love. Yes, this can be due to conditions of the past. There is a cloaking of the face happening. There is a viewpoint of love that is distorted. I'm hearing the term the ego also can be bruised in the context of this. And they have actually, although they might have avoided some of these things, addressing pain body experiences, demons that they had of the past hurts, having particular patterns to deal with this codependent connection. It hasn't helped them evolve. It hasn't helped them find creative ways, the creative ways, the codependent ways. They're baffled. They're very baffled. They can't understand why this isn't working. I do feel for some they're at a stalemate within a karmic contract. They're just, they're making reference to the point, curious and curious. So it's almost like they're baffled. They just don't get it. I'm noticing the blue. Interesting. I am getting another psychic message. Okay. Let me check. I'm noticing the white glove. Okay. There's a concealing. There's a concealing of energy. Hmm. I'm going to go into clarify. So it's referencing, it's almost like the Michael Jackson glove. And I was reading up on it. This could be something to do with a spiritual contract, a marriage, concealing situations. I also feel they could be covering up how they feel within the context of a connection. But we're going to go into clarifying to get the overarching energy of this whole read. This person's very, very stuck in a loop, very stuck in the pattern, disillusioned, baffled. I could say frustrated, but I just feel so stuck. So stuck because they haven't found a solution. Patterns that they used prior aren't working. Yeah, they're losing hope. They're really, to do with the creating energy and alchemy and power, they're just so baffled by these patterns that they've had that usually work like an alchemist are just simply not working anymore. I do feel whomever is dealing with either this individual cycle or path, they're really detaching from it. They're really detaching from the noose that binds them, so to speak, within this alchemy energy, giving their power away, maybe using power in very toxic manners. This no longer is binding them, and this is really concerning this individual because this has been a misuse of power. Okay, what do we need to know about what is being released here? Are these individuals releasing, or is it something that's cropping up in a very aggressive manner? Although not necessarily am I picking it's aggressive, I just feel it's distorted. This can be coming through in text messages. It can be, again, the communication style and how they're dealing with things. They're not working. Yeah, this person is so baffled why these patterns aren't working on the other individual. Okay, what do we need to know about the heart of the situation? Is this changing these individuals? Is this a karmic lesson? They keep mentioning July. Yeah, there's room, there's space. There's a challenge to accept what happiness looks like, what something is and what something isn't. There is a commitment that is being broken. There's a contract that's being broken. Okay, this judgment energy is coming from different areas of their life. They do feel quite isolated. They do feel very unsupported. This can be where whatever information is coming out about the past, it's quite surprising to them. They can feel as though people are not on their side. This can be a lot of paranoia. I also feel there's a lot of, what would I say, jealousy towards the fact that other people seem to be having a happier time than they are. The inner critique is coming out. They could be needing to turn in towards a mentor. There could be something to do with their mind health that's coming up. They're being challenged not to use toxic patterns. They could, more from a pattern point of view, I'm saying there could be a little bit of guilt towards their projection, that they're feeling that if they're nicer, maybe they can turn the ship around. But it feels ever so temporary. And I do feel the damage is done. I'm seeing the individual, if this is an individual romantic connection, the individual who is dealing with this person is mentally over it. It's really messed with their head, and it's almost like they don't want to hear any more white noise. There is a falseness within this. Yeah, somebody's stopped communicating. Although they're waiting, they just don't understand. They don't understand what they co-created here. And I do feel this person that is dealing with them is walking in a different direction. It's really making them quite paranoid. This can be something that is coming crashing down. And it's really pushing them to have to deal with their demons, to look at their new path, but they're just like in quicksand at this point. Definitely feeling from the carrying energy, they're kept in the dark. They want communication. They could be power text messaging. They could be pushing the point. Their routine also may suddenly have to change. They may have to get their hands dirty in a proper way over a toxic way. And this is something that they really don't want. Especially because if they were codependent, this was really serving their purpose to keep everything the way it is. But I definitely feel this week in the mix, there's a real shake-up within this dynamic. If there's anything you saw within this, I'd love to hear your feedback. Did you see something we didn't see? And how are you actually dealing with this energy? Are you spiritually feeling stuck at this point in time and finding that you can't alchemize your goals? Sometimes doors close, sometimes doors open. How directly are you experiencing the energy? If you have any advice, I'd love to hear, and I'm sure the collective would too. Take care. If you want to join our super chats, we have one a month to the public, and the other energy updates for the super chats are in the dark within our members hub. That's so we can really speak candidly and ask those pivotal questions in privacy. And we do have the joint connection coming up every Sunday. Come through and see us. Otherwise, we'll see you next week for the Karmic third party update.